Welcome everyone! In this video, we are in the Great League showcasing another very powerful team featuring Defense Form Deoxys. DD is in for Medicham on a team that I've recommended a lot in the past and I've run myself in the past. I just think DD is a little bit more effective as a lead than Medicham these days. And also on the safe swap, the best safe swap arguably in the entire Great League, none other than good old Lickitung. Lickitung, about as good as it gets. We all know the story with that tanky monster there. And G-Fisk in the back to close the game strong. I think G-Fisk has a very strong place in the meta. We tried it as a lead yesterday, and today we're going to give it a try as a closer. Yeah, I've run this team a lot in the past and recommended it a lot in the past with Medi in the place of DD, but with all the charm A9s and DDs, we are rolling DD for this team. And here we go. Alolan Ninetales. This is pretty neutral. They do outpace and they do win. Or, well, they don't... Well, they sort of outpace because you generally don't want to debuff yourself with that Psycho Boost, so essentially they do. But they hit us with a Weather Ball and swap into a Licky. We're going to chip this and then align our G-Fisk onto the Licky. The matchup is still generally in the favor of G-Fisk, but it is a lot closer than it once was. So getting that chip just makes this matchup a little bit more comfortable for G-Fisk, as with the Earthquake nerf. That has made this matchup a lot more difficult for G-Fisk. Gonna go for the Earthquake, speaking of, and they do let that go, as they generally do. We will survive another Power Whip, and we are happy to tank another Power Whip, as we don't want to be too healthy for that Kanto Ninetales that will most likely come back in. We're just gonna build to the back-to-back Rock Slides and go for Rock Slide number 1. Not likely they shield this, and if they don't, we'll have one locked and loaded to threaten that Kanto Ninetales. They do come back in with it, so we are going to go for the Rock Slide here. They can survive this. It's not very comfortable for them, so they do shield. That is brilliant. And now we're going to bring Deoxys back in. We knew that we were one counter off from a Psycho Boost. We're going to go for that. They're down to shield. They let that go, and now it's Licky time. I have no idea what they could have lurking in the back. This is a very unconventional lead, so we will shield this out of caution. And they've got a Lanturn in the back, so we're okay. We're in a good spot here. I'm going to go for the Power Whip, as most trainers will let the first one go. They know that they survive. But you never know. They do shield, so they give up the final shield, putting a lot of hope and faith into this Lanturn here. And we're going to let their move go. We survive any one move from Lanturn quite easily, as many of you all can imagine. And now we're going to go for another Power Whip here. It will not KO, but it will be getting the Lanturn within Body Slam range. Switch Clock is coming up, though, so I wanted to be a bit cautious of a potential catch. But, you know, when you're running a one-turn move, it's pretty easy to not get your move caught on. You just have to throw proper timing. But they do outpace us there, and that is okay. DD should be able to clean this matchup up, no problem. We're still relatively healthy. They throw the K9 in to get farmed down, and we leave that with a Psycho Boost. So, yeah, the team puts in work. We had no problem with the remainder. We say bye-bye to the Lanturn there, courtesy of our Deoxys. Takes a bit of practice, but once you get the hang of DD, it is a monster. Good game, well played to them. I have not run Deoxys since the beginning of the season, so I thought it might be time to run it again with G-Fisk in the back. And here we go. We had a favorable lead. Medicham, they safe swap a Frostlass, and we had an answer to this Frostlass lurking in the back. We've got our G-Fisk here on it. They are slightly ahead on energy, which is a very dangerous proposition when you're dealing with a Frostlass, but we are going to try our very best here. Licky can handle Medi to an extent depending on the shielding situation, but I would rather just hang on to alignment, as there's a lot of bulk on this team, so you can be very flexible with how you shield with this team here. Gonna go for another Rock Slide here and see if they'll want to take the shield advantage that we gave them, and they don't. They want to take our final shield, and we'll do that. We're not letting them control alignment. Not gonna happen. And because they shielded that, we can now Mudshot down and leave this with an Earthquake for the Medicham, which will likely come back in here. They do come back in. Gonna go for the EQ. You're only getting a one move. We go for the harder hitting move with Stab here. They can survive this, but they shield. Shields are now down, and that is okay. When you have this much bulk on a team, it's quite all right. You don't have to worry too much about it. And we've got our DD back in on this Medi. Got to be careful of a catch. There's the catch attempt on an underleveled Carbink. So they're running the Medicham Carbink core, and that's okay. Licky can do all right here. And go for our Power Whip. That's what you want to do on Carbink. Of course, you go straight for that super effective Power Whip. And I think even if it was fully leveled, we'd still be just fine. And this Licky is just here to absorb damage and dish out damage where it can. And DD should be fine to clear up the remainder of this team here. Medicham completely helpless against DD, which is why we lead with it. And go for another Power Whip there, and it looks like we're pacing on health to take this thing out before they can take us out with fast moves. So they throw their move here, and that is about all she wrote for the team. They needed to leave that matchup with a move, and they could not do that. They come back in with the Medi. We have loaded energy because we exercised patience. Go for that Thunderbolt, and it is just about nighty-night, sleep tight here. Medicham about as helpless as it gets up against DD. I think we all know that. So we just have to manage our energy effectively here. What I'd like to do, at the time, I wasn't quite sure where that Carbink was on health. I knew it was super low, but to be safe, I'm just going to go for back-to-back Psycho Boost. This one should just about KO the Medi. Not quite. One counter does the trick, and we've got the energy to handle the Carbink, and they do top left. So yeah, this team puts in the work as per usual. Good game, well played to them. Yeah, we ran G-Fisk as a lead yesterday and did amazingly, and decided to try it as a closer. It did well there too. And here we go, Charm A9. If you see one of these, you can generally read that there's a Medicham or a Medicham and a Basti or Carbink, but that is not what we see here. They've got their own G-Fisk lurking in the back here. So seeing this, we chip that, much like we do with a Licky safe swap, to make this matchup a little bit more comfortable for our own Pokemon that we have on our team. So we do the same thing, and that just makes this matchup a little bit more comfortable here, as I mentioned. I was really concerned that there was a Swampert as well in the back, and that was a pretty popular line a few seasons ago. Charm A9, Double Ground in the back. Pretty good team comp. That's one of the better Charm A9 lead team comps, I will say. So yeah, they're going to throw a move here. We survive an Earthquake, but they go for a Rock Slide. There's no way we're shielding Licky. That's not going to happen, and they've got a Talonflame in the back. So that is totally not what I was reading. There's no way you could possibly read this team comp here. So that's okay. We're going to throw that and not let them farm us down. And we're going to do our best to take out this Talonflame here. They are down a shield, but they are ahead on energy a little bit. So we're going to throw with proper timing. You'll want to throw on 2, 4, or 7 if you have a 2-turn fast move up against a 5-turn. And that is what Talonflame has with Incinerate. I think we let this go and we put the hope and faith into G-Fisk. We are pretty good up against the remainder of this team. We just can't get hit by a charge move from this Talonflame here. So we're going to throw G-Fisk in here. They catch the move on their own G-Fisk. To be completely honest, I had completely forgotten about the G-Fisk in the back. So very nice catch by them, but we're still okay. We just have to shield up their move because they do have one stored. They're going to bring the Charm A9 back in. So we can't shield this. We do survive this quite comfortably. And all we need to do now is just get to back-to-back Rock Slides. And that will be how we win this game here. So we are at the back-to-back. Going to throw this Rock Slide here. This should be enough to KO this A9. We say bye-bye to the A9. And we hit the move to trigger the CMP tie. Shield this up. And that is all she wrote for this very unconventional team here. Oh, the team's still putting in the work. It's a beautiful thing in the Great League. We've got the Rock Slide charged up here, and we're saying bye-bye to the Talonflame. A lot more Talonflames as of late in the Great League. Very, very interesting to see. Good game, well played to them. Yeah, not a lot of people consider G-Fisk these days, so I want to bring as much awareness as possible, as it's very good into a lot of common lines that we see. But here we go. DD Mirror. You just stay in and take out the DD. Maybe grab a shield if they want to try and control, win lead and control alignment. That's what you'll generally want to do. You can usually, it's safe to assume that there's a Licky in the back, much like how we have here. They complement each other quite well. So that's what we're reading. As for the third, it could be anything. It could be Umbreon, could be a Dugong, it could be a Charm A9. So we don't know. I'm pretty sure there is an opposing Licky in the back though. So also, another tip for you on the DD lead is to just go for the extras, overfarm as much as possible. That might put you a little further ahead, just in case they want to shield like they're doing here. I run a rank 1 DD, so I don't often win CMP tie, so we get it pretty low and we leave with a shield advantage. That's okay. Both of our back 2 Pokemon are very good into Deoxys. We throw G-Fisk in here because we hardwall the charge moves, and the counters are non-stab, don't do all that much. So we try to farm it down. They get out of there before that Mud Shot could take them out. They do have a move stored, and they have their own Licky, just as we were reading. So we go for the EQ. They let that go. Again, I have a feeling there is a Charm A9 in the back. That's a very, very powerful and popular team comp, popularized by one of my favorite Twitch streamers, Wholesome _. So that's what I'm reading. That's generally what it is these days. We go for another EQ and we preserve our G-Fisk, and we're actually going to go for an aggressive double resisted farm down here with our own Licky. We're going to absorb all of this. I'm reading Charm A9, so I would like to have some energy loaded for that thing, and we'll still be healthy enough to survive the charms, but it's not the Charmer we were thinking. Oh my goodness, it is probably the worst Charmer for Lickitung to see. It's a Wigglytuff. Holy smokes. They flipped the script on us, guys. It's not a Charm A9, but we do have the energy advantage, so we're just going to rip off these body slams and try our best. Holy smokes. We do have a relatively healthy G-Fisk lurking in the back. We need maybe one, I don't even think one more body slam will get the job done here. But we're just going to go for the back-to-back and then immediately swap G-Fisk here. Not good timing throwing on alignment there, but we will survive that charm, and we are going to pivot into G-Fisk and try and mudshot this thing down. They are at just about back-to-back moves here. I was not counting those charms. I was completely thrown off by seeing that, but no, they were not at the back-to-back. They were very close, though. They do have a move on this Licky. We're going to shield this, and that Mudshot should take it out. It does. The DD has a move. Holy smokes. G-Fisk putting in the work. We should survive a fully powered Psycho Boost, and they go down to a Mudshot. Oh my gosh, that one was super close. Very exciting. G-Fisk hangs on in the end. That's the power of Galarian Stunfisk in this meta. Good game. Well played to them. Oh man, Wiggly was the last thing I was thinking of with that last team, but we got it done in the end. Here we go. Nerfed Party Hat Noctowl. Very interesting. Of course, with Shadow Ball, I can put in work up against DD. But from a team reading perspective, I have no clue. I don't know what people run with Nerfed Noctowl these days, this season. So we're just going to go for the Thunderbolt. They can survive this, but they shield, and that's okay. We will make it to a Psycho Boost, and I think we'll just soft lose lead here. Take the shield advantage, and then play on from there. We're going to go for the Psycho Boost here. They do survive that, and they let that go. And we will just let this go, and I think come in with Licky and get ahead on energy here. I have no idea what they have in the bag, so one body slam should just about KO the Noctowl from about this range here. We're gonna let this go and hold on to the shield advantage here and just load up here. We survive another move pretty easily as well, but they swap into a Lanturn, so we're gonna bank that energy. They were trying to catch perhaps on the Lanturn. I don't know. We're going to bank that, and we've got our G-Fisk. And on this, we survived 2 surfs, and They used to really struggle to farm down, but with the rebalance on Spark, it actually gets a little close, but G-Fisk can still survive after landing the EQ, which they do let go there. They are down a shield. We're going to let this go. We do survive, and again, we can still Mudshot down in time, but my goodness, the Spark rebalance makes that a lot closer. You'll definitely leave with a lot less HP. And they've got a Quagsire in the back. At the time, I just saw the typing and assumed Swampert, but it was revealed to be a Quagsire once we got a glimpse of the Pokemon. They do let that EQ go. We're going to go for this Body Slam to KO the Owl. I'm presuming they will want to save the shield, but they don't want to save the shield. So because they shielded the low health Owl here, we can just let this go, throw this next Body Slam, and we will be able to make it to a Power Whip in time. They let that EQ go, so Power Whip absolutely KOs, and they're just not going to make it to enough moves in time. They realize that, as they do promptly top left. So good game, well played to them. And in case you're wondering, guys, this team also handles the ever so popular ABA Steel line with Medi in the middle, but we had a Surfetched, and that's a good lead. We're going to chip and dip into our G-Fisk for this Lickitung safe swap here. They usually let this go, of course. Licky is a big damage sponge, as we all know, and now we are in on our G-Fisk here to take out this Licky here. We don't want to leave this terribly healthy, but we do want to leave with energy, so that's what our play is here. We survived 2 of these Power Whips, and because we got that chip, makes the matchup a lot more comfortable. This will not KO, but it will put it within a Mudshot downrange. Yeah, we can Mudshot this down. We tank another Power Whip to get low, and we leave with an Earthquake to threaten that Surfetch. So a Surfetch lead, very unconventional lead. They do have a Licky that we just took out there. I don't know what the third could be. I'm going to go for the EQ here and likely grab a shield from the Surfetch. But no, they let it go. That's brilliant. We'll take that. We will take that. That was beautiful. We're just going to come in with our DD here, of course, and look to counter down, but they don't stick around for that. They've got a Charm A9 in the back. So I'm going to stay in because I know the neutral counters are really adding up on this thing. We're going to go for the Thunderbolt and undoubtedly grab the shield. Looks like they're employing the 2-shield Charmer strat. Try and make it to the Psycho Boost, but we just cannot make it there. That is unfortunate. Oh, that was bad. We wanted to get that last shield or get the damage. Most likely get the shield. So now we shield all of this and try and go for a lick down. We can't store 3 Body Slams. We need one to take this out. One will get the shield. And yeah, at this point, I'm just going to commit to fast move pressure. We survived this, and I'm hoping that we can lick down that Surfetched in time. I don't know if we can. We probably should have just gone for the 2 Body Slams. That was where we threw it. Should have gone for the 2 Body Slams, but it would have been close either way. Good game, well played to them. Oh, that last one was really annoying. I think that was a really attack-weighted A9, but we press on. Here we go. Lanturn, pretty neutral lead. Pretty familiar with this matchup here, so we're going to stay in, overload, and see what they want to do. We survived the Thunderbolt, no problem, of course. And yeah, we're going to overload a little bit more. But no, they safe swap into the Licky, so we saw that. We're actually going to chip this and play it just as we've been playing every single other Lickitung safe swap. We chip and dip in the G-Fisk to make the matchup a lot more comfortable. We tank the 2 Power Whips, and we survive long enough to get rid of the Licky. So that's what we're going to do. They throw their first one. We're going to cap out and go for the Earthquake here. They generally will not shield their Lickitung. Most trainers will not, as that is the damage sponge on just about every team that we see in the Great League. This one is very bulky. It's a thick best buddy, so we are not farming that down. We're just going to throw before they hit us with another move. Preserve a little bit of health, control alignment. It's a Gligar in the back. We had a little bit of residual energy. Going to go for the Rock Slide here on the Gligar, of course. And look to see what they want to do. They're going to have to throw Dig to get rid of us, and we're going to go for another Rock Slide if they don't. They have to go dig. It's a waste of energy, it seems, but Aerial Ace will not get the KO, and they do go for the dig there. We are one off from a Psycho Boost, so we are going to go for a Psycho Boost and dip. I'm sure they know that this is a Psycho Boost coming. They shield that, and it's Lickitung. Once again, still healthy on the DD. Got that shield, and we are now on a roll here with our Licky. Gonna shield this. I was debating what's gonna hit us harder, a dig from this thing or a Thunderbolt from the Lanturn. I wasn't quite sure. I know it's very, very close. And speaking of Lanturn, they pivot back into that. Gonna bait this Lanturn. They always shield the Power Whip. We do successfully bait, and we do outpace now because we did successfully bait that Lanturn for the Power Whip here. Doesn't KO, but does big damage. And now we are in a very commanding position here. I think we shield this. Yeah, we shield and look to load up on energy here on this Lanturn. Switch clock is up. We're going to counter this thing down before they can get to a move. We have a Body Slam banked. Once again, they're going to have to dig to KO. Aerial Ace is not going to get the job done. They're in a hard spot, though. They need energy. It's just not going to happen. Licky's way too healthy. We get to the Psycho Boost anyways, and a fully powered boost should be enough to say bye-bye to the Gligar. Oh, the team puts in work, guys. Once you get the hang of how to use DD, which I am thoroughly, I've thoroughly got the hang of it, but it takes a lot of first-time users to get the hang of it. Once you do, it's very good. Good game, well played to them. Yeah, guys, like I said at the beginning, this is a slightly modified version of a very powerful team that I've run and recommended in the past. Only instead of Medi, we've got DD. And if you don't have a DD, you can just run Medi. Speaking of, that's what we've got here. Medicham. So this is an amazing lead for us. And if they stay in, they're usually core broken by a Defense Form Deoxys lead. So we're going to go for a Thunderbolt. I'm reading maybe at least one Steel type in the back. And if they shield, they're 1000% core broken by a Defense Form Deoxys lead. Holy smokes. We're going to let this go as well. Most Steel types we don't have to be terribly healthy for. We have to be careful of a catch. We held on. They did try to catch on a G-Fisk. Holy smokes. Can you imagine a Thunderbolt onto that thing? We're going to chip with a Psycho Boost. Just as we have with other G-Fisk safe swaps, we chip with that Psycho Boost. It makes the matchup a little bit more comfortable for Lickitung in the zeros. So we're going to let this go. We survived this quite comfortably, and we're going to go to work on this G-Fisk. We need, from this health range, because we got the chip, we only need a Power Whip plus a Body Slam, but it would be nice to leave with a little bit of energy. So that's what we're going to try and do. We survive another Earthquake, no problem. And we will have to throw before they can reach a Rock Slide. That's how we take it out in the zeros. So we're going to do that here. Body Slam is all we need to take out this G-Fisk here, but I don't think we're going to leave healthy enough to make it to another one for that Medi. Yeah. Oh, it's not. They don't come back in with the Medi. They come in with a Reggie, so it was double steal, so they were definitely core broken by a DD lead. It is confirmed. We've got a Reggie here, and we've got just the answer to a Reggie in the back, guys. Again, G-Fisk has the play in the meta, despite the EQ nerf. It has play against a lot of the common teams that we see. So we shield up their Focus Blast, and they pivot back into the Medi. Gonna go for the Thunderbolt here on the Medicham. Not sure. They know what we have, so yeah, they're a lot more cautious to shield now. I think we let this go and we put the hope and faith into G-Fisk because we don't need HP to take out that Reggie. What we do need is a shield and perhaps some loaded energy. So we're not shielding anything from this Medicham here. They've already revealed the moveset. So we just tank these Ice Punches and we're just going to load up. Rock Slide is enough to KO this Medi from here. So we're going to go for this Rock Slide and they shield. Holy smokes. So now it's really over. We don't have to shield this. Like I said, we don't need HP to handle that Reggie. We need a little bit just to stay out of farm down range. We're still out of farm down range. We're a little close, so we're going to go for this Earthquake, knowing that it wouldn't quite KO and that we could get a few mud shots in. We get a couple. That's all we really need. we will survive the counters to outpace this Medicham to the rock slide. Look at G-Fisk putting in the work, guys. Holy smokes. And we're saying bye-bye to the Medi, my goodness. With a shield to spare, I might add. Holy smokes, G-Fisk. Worked beautifully as a lead yesterday. Worked well as a closer today. Holy smokes, I'm telling you. I wanted to bring more awareness around G-Fisk. Wasn't sure what team to run it with as a closer. And then I was thinking, you know, I always recommended the Medi Licky G-Fisk line in a lot of my top 5 best teams videos, but I'm not too high on the Medi lead these days. There's just a lot of counters to it on the lead. Justifiably so. It's a very powerful Pokemon. So I landed on DD. It's the next best thing if you're not going to run Medicham, but you want that sort of coverage. And DD was the perfect adjustment for this team. It's going to handle opposing Medicham leads, going to handle a lot of the common leads that people run, like Charm A9. It can do well there. Does well up against Azu. You just have to protect it from the ghost types, of course. And we've got that with Licky, and G-Fisk was amazing in the back. But guys, I had a blast. I hope you all enjoyed. As always, I thank you for watching, and keep up the grind. Thank you, guys.